Hello Army! Welcome to our channel. Today we're going to discuss a very sensitive but important topic. This is about what fans call the Jimin problem, involving Hybe, BTS's agency. In recent years, especially during Jimin's solo era, many fans have been questioning whether Hybe is truly fully supporting Jimin's solo career, or if something is actually wrong behind the scenes. From allegations of promotional sabotage, minimal support for Billboard achievements, to the Spotify streaming controversy that saw 200 million streams disappear, there's so much we need to unpack. In this video, we'll look at the facts, analyze the timeline, and try to understand what's really happening. This isn't a video to spread hate, but to open healthy and objective discussion about this complex situation. But before that, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Let's dive in. Okay, Army, before we get into the controversy, we need to acknowledge first that Jimin is one of the most successful soloists from BTS. Let's look at his incredible achievements. His first album, Face, released in March 2023, made history. The single, Like Crazy, became the first song by a Korean solo artist to reach #1 on the Billboard Hot 100. This was a monumental achievement. Army, Jimin literally opened the door for all Korean solo artists. The Face album itself debuted at #2 on the Billboard 200, making Jimin the highest charting Korean solo artist ever on that chart at the time. The album also achieved gold and platinum certifications in various countries. Then came his second album, Muse, released in July 2024. The lead single, who not only went viral on TikTok and social media, but also became one of the longest charting K-pop solo songs on the Billboard Hot 100, staying on the chart for 26 weeks. This is clear proof that Jimin has incredible staying power in the global market. So with all these achievements, why is there something called the Jimin problem? Let's break it down. The controversy actually started during the Face era. In January 2024, fans began noticing something weird. Like Crazy was making a comeback and should have re-entered the Billboard Hot 100 chart, but it didn't chart even though all data showed the song should have charted. Fans conducted investigations and discovered that US digital sales data for Like Crazy wasn't submitted on time by the distributor. Sales increased by 4,654%. Streams reached 4.7 million in the US, but somehow sales data was missing from Billboard's calculations. What made fans angry was this didn't seem like an ordinary technical error. Why? Because only Jimin's song was affected, while other releases from Hybe labels that same week had no issues. Fans immediately trended the hashtag #WeDemandTransparency and questioned whether this was a mistake or intentional after massive protests from fans. This issue was fixed within 8 hours for some charts, but the Hot 100 and other major charts were never corrected. Jimin lost the opportunity to extend his chart run because of this administrative error. But that was just the beginning. Let's talk about the Weverse magazine controversy that occurred in May 2023. Weverse magazine is a media platform owned by Hybe. So in theory, they should support and celebrate their own artists, right? But what happened was the opposite. When Like Crazy hit #1 on the Billboard Hot 100, making history as the first Korean solo act to achieve this, Weverse magazine didn't properly acknowledge this achievement. Instead, they wrote an article that called Jimin's success a partial success and focused more on Morgan Wallen, a controversial artist who had previously been involved in a racism scandal. The article literally said that fans needed to wait and see the drop rate next week instead of celebrating this historic moment. Imagine your own company's magazine doubting the success of their own artist on a public platform. Fans were absolutely furious. Hashtags trended, open letters were sent, and armies worldwide demanded an apology. What made this more painful was that Weverse magazine also downplayed Suga's achievement as August D in the same article, comparing him unfavorably with Wallen. Now, we're getting into the biggest and most recent controversy, the Spotify streaming deletion controversy. This is where things get really complicated and controversial. Starting from November 2024, fans noticed that streams from Who on Spotify began decreasing in abnormal amounts. We're not talking about hundreds or thousands of streams. We're talking about millions, based on fan tracking and public data, Who lost more than 175 million streams between November 2024 and May 2025. The biggest single-month drop occurred in February 2025, with more than 52 million streams disappearing in one day. By July 2025, total deleted streams had reached more than 200 million. This is a scale unprecedented in Spotify history for a single song. For context, that's equivalent to erasing entire fan bases from the calculation. Now, there are two sides to this controversy, and we need to be fair by looking at both. The first side, critics and some netizens say this is proof of stream manipulation or artificial streaming. They argue that such a large deletion number couldn't happen if the streaming was organic from the start. Some even started calling Jimin fraudman, which is extremely harsh and unfair. They also point out that Hybe, as a major company, has resources for mass streaming campaigns, and this deletion is Spotify catching and removing bot streams or violated streams. But the second side, which is mostly Jimin fans and armies, have very strong counterarguments. First, they point out that streaming deletions also occurred for other artists, including other BTS members. Jungkook's 7 and 3D lost millions of streams. V's Winter Ahead lost almost 13 million streams. Jin's Don't Say You Love Me lost 15 million streams. Even Blackpink's Rose and Jennie experienced deletions, though on a smaller scale. Fans also explain that Spotify has a history of periodic cleanups that remove streams from accounts that are inactive, deleted, or flagged for various technical reasons. This isn't exclusive to Jimin. The scale is large because Who was an extremely viral song and had massive streaming numbers from the start. What's important to understand is this: high streaming numbers don't automatically equal manipulation. Who was genuinely viral, trending on TikTok with millions of videos, and had organic popularity in various countries. The song had staying power and chart longevity that proved genuine popularity. What's frustrating for fans is the complete silence from Hybe and Big Hit Music. Despite the massive scale of this controversy and the damage control that was clearly needed, there was no official statement, no explanation, no transparency. Fans repeatedly trended hashtags like Hybe Respect Jimin and Hybe Protect Jimin. But official response? None. This silence speaks volumes and only fuels more speculation and frustration. Let's talk about promotional support, because this is another major complaint from fans. When Who achieved incredible milestones, becoming the third longest charting song on the Hot 100 and re-entering the top 32 months after release, fans noticed something strange. Hybe's social media posts celebrating these achievements were lackluster. In fact, there were several times when Hybe posted about Jimin's achievements but didn't even mention his name in the caption or hashtags. They would say, "Guess who's on the cover?" instead of properly crediting Jimin. Fans did comparisons with how Hybe promoted other artists' achievements, including other BTS members, and there was a noticeable difference in enthusiasm, frequency, and quality of promotional posts. This led to the hashtag Hybe Respect Jimin, trending in January 2025, with fans demanding equal treatment and proper recognition for Jimin's historic achievements. There was also an issue with how Hybe handled Jimin's privacy and protection from malicious rumors. In August 2025, dating rumors between Jimin and actress Song Dae-eun exploded online based on questionable TikTok videos. Korean media outlet Sports Chosen actually published an article with evidence debunking these rumors before Hybe issued any statement. Fans were furious that media had to protect Jimin faster than his own agency. More seriously, there were multiple instances where Jimin faced online threats, including acid attack threats in October 2025, and fans noticed delayed or inadequate responses from Hybe in addressing these serious safety concerns. The hashtag #HYBProtectJimin trended multiple times, with fans demanding more proactive protection for their artist, especially considering Jimin is currently serving military service and can't personally address or defend himself from attacks. Okay, Army, now we've seen all sides of the Jimin problem. So what's the truth? Is Hybe really holding back Jimin's potential? Honestly, the situation is complicated and not black and white. Let me give you my balanced analysis. On one hand, we can't deny that Jimin achieved incredible success. Hybe did provide resources for album production, music videos, and basic promotional activities. Who, and like crazy, are quality productions with proper budgets. Jimin also got the Disney Plus show Are You Sure? With Jungkook, which is a major platform and production. So it's not like Hybe completely abandoned him. On the other hand, the pattern of issues cannot be ignored. Sales data, mysteriously, missing that affected Billboard charting. Weverse magazine downplaying achievements. Inadequate social media promotion. Slow response to privacy violations and safety threats. Spotify deletion controversy with zero transparency. These are too many coincidences to just be random bad luck or technical errors. And what's most telling is how these issues seem disproportionately to affect Jimin compared to other members. Some industry observers suggest this could be internal company politics, resource allocation issues, or even differences in how individual member teams operate within Hybe's structure. Remember, Hybe is a massive company with many labels and artists, and internal dynamics can be very complicated. There's also the possibility that some issues are genuinely technical or administrative errors whose unfortunate timing made them look worse. The music industry has complex distribution systems, and mistakes do happen. But regardless of the exact reasons, the result is the same. Jimin and his fans feel unsupported and unprotected by the company that should advocate for him. Trust has been damaged, and that's a real and valid concern. What's also important to note is this isn't about pitting BTS members against each other. Fans of other members also have complaints about Hybe's management in different ways. This is about holding the company accountable for how they treat their artists. Now, Jimin is serving his military service and will return in June 2025 along with other BTS members. The Chapter 2 era will end, and BTS's comeback as a group is already on the horizon. The big question is, will Hybe learn from these controversies? Will there be better communication, better protection, and better support for all members moving forward? Fans have every right to voice concerns and demand transparency. Constructive criticism and accountability are healthy for any company-artist relationship. But it's also important to avoid spreading unverified information or engaging in harmful speculation. At the end of the day, what cannot be denied is Jimin's talent, hard work, and connection with fans. His achievements stand on their own merit, regardless of company support or lack thereof. The Who success? That's because of a powerful song and Jimin's artistry. Like Crazy, making history? That's because of Jimin's vocal ability and emotional delivery that touched millions. The staying power? That's because of genuine quality and a dedicated fan base. No amount of company mismanagement can take away from what Jimin has achieved and will continue to achieve. So, Army, what do you think? Is there really a Jimin problem with HYB? Are the concerns valid, or is this overblown? Have you noticed similar patterns with other BTS members or other artists at HYB? Share your thoughts in the comments section. Let's have a respectful discussion about this complex issue. Remember, we want better for all BTS members, and that starts with honest conversations. If you want more deep dives into BTS industry issues, member analysis, and K-pop controversies, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. We do thorough research and balanced analysis to give you the complete picture. Thank you for watching until the end. Stay informed, stay respectful, and most importantly, continue supporting the artists you love in healthy ways. Borahi, Purple Heart.